G'day, my name's Tim and I'm the Events and Activation Manager at Melbourne Connect, and it's our privilege to be collaborating with the Telstra Creator Space today for your virtual tour of the event. So in a second, I'm going to introduce Matt and Sarah to kick the session off. But first of all, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we're on today. So I'm currently in the Melbourne Connect offices. I needed their internet to get this session done. And that's obviously the lands of the Wurundjeri people. And so I pay my sincere respects to their elders, past and present, and acknowledge that we're all going to be on different lands of the traditional custodians throughout the country. And the university is on many different lands of many different peoples throughout our campuses throughout Victoria. So we just wanted to acknowledge that as well. So thanks for joining us. I might introduce Sarah, if she's there, and who will have plenty to say about this terrific session. Ask you questions in the question and answer bottom, so on and so forth, and Sarah will explain how proceedings are happening. So welcome, Sarah. Thanks for having us, and thanks for today's event.
Thank you, Tim. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Telstra Creator Space. So thank you very much for joining us virtually from wherever you are this afternoon. So Sarah McFarlane, I'm a part of the Telstra Creator Space operations team here within the Faculty of Engineering and IT at Melbourne University. Matt, my colleague, is our service lead who will be co-piloting our first ever virtual session today. So our team manages this amazing fabrication lab designed to support open innovation and prototyping for the faculty and also for the broader university community. With our tours that we operate in person, you'd hear the noise of the laser cutters, you'd hear users cutting their timber as a part of their general induction, or you hear the sound of users troubleshooting their prototype. But today we'll endeavour to bring it to life as much as possible. So before we start, has everyone got their closed-toed shoes on? So over the next 30 minutes, we'll virtually take you through the space and what happens in each of the zones. And this tool will be available on the website, on our website later for you to explore and traverse through as you please. So a little bit of background as to the two key organisations that are involved in making this space come to life. So the Faculty of Engineering and IT has designed the Telstra Creator Space to be the go-to place for advanced engineering and information technology prototyping solutions for Uni's Melbourne students. The Telstra Creator Space represents a bold and ambitious strategy to prepare outstanding graduates and to achieve a global impact through teaching and research. So Telstra are the founding technology and innovation partner of Melbourne Connect, and they're also naming partners of the space. The Telstra partnership is a celebration of collaboration through enhancing Uni Melbourne students' learning outcomes, creating pathways and fostering innovating thinking. So with these ambitious goals and a user-centric mission, and also located as a part of Melbourne Connect precinct and close to the main Parkville campus, Telstra Creator Space is a perfect place for engineering collaboration. So, as you can see, we're already in the Concierge and you've had a great look around. So this space here is a really welcoming environment for current users and for future potential users. So you'll have smiles on the way in, but you also have some music and digital screens to help communicate what's going on, as well as provide inspiration as to what you'll see. So as you can see, we are open to, we're open for active Uni of Melbourne students, staff, and soon to be Melbourne Connect tenants. And we're open from 10 to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday. So before we head in, or we're already heading in, we've swiped our user card, haven't we, Matt? So entry into the Creator Spaces for swipe access only. So you need to have completed your registration and completed an induction into the space. And that involves 3 e-learn modules and a 90-minute face-to-face session to get your hands on the tools to make sure you're comfortable using the tools that are in the space. In this space, you can see now we're in a general maker area, and this is where you do all your rapid prototyping. So we see this area being a group working area with craft consumables such as cardboard, icy pole sticks, and there'll also be their hand tools and portable drills with appropriate consumables being available and stored along the back wall there. As we kind of spin around along the back wall there, you'll see one of our 2 electronic areas. There are 8 bookable and 1 accessible desk there, where you'll find oscilloscopes, power supplies, function generators, and as well as 2 soldering stations there. We spin a little bit further around, you'll see our 2 Trotec laser cutters. So these laser cutters here are used to engrave acrylic or other non-metal materials using a high-powered light laser source. Cool, thanks Matt. We'll head towards east, towards our digital printing area. So on the left-hand side, you'll see our digital design area, and that's really for students to come in to complete their computer-aided designs, the laser cutter, or the 3D printing or 3D scanning. And then we'll introduce you to our 3D printing area. There's some artifacts on the left there from our design supervisor, who's been busy at creating different artifacts to use. And on the right-hand side, we've got 30 MakerBots for your basic printing needs, all in PLA. Fortunate enough to have 2 Mark IV printers for high-strength applications, and where reinforcement is needed for this continuous filament. So users will be able to send their CAD drawings here to an online location, and then the team on site will then schedule them to the MakerBots. And then on completion, they'll get an email and they can ready to come and collect them from the concierge. We've got our lockers on the right there. So on this ground floor, there are 30 lockers, and these are going to be used for students to store all their work in progress. We'll take you through to our test bed area. So here's going to have multiple uses. At the moment, we've set it up ready for our next general induction. There's lots of potential uses for this space. Maybe lay out your racetrack for your testing out your robots. There's a rig installed on the ceiling where we plan to introduce some netting to fly some drones. But it's really an ideal space to have workshops or even exhibitions where users can come out to play and really get stuck into the new technology or testing of their prototypes. There's a great view of this space in from the Oculus, which is the centre of Melbourne Connect, so you can have all your fans looking in as you fly some drones. Okay. What I might do is walk you up towards the concierge, and I'll hand over to Matt, who will take you down the basement.
Thank you, Sarah. Excellent. That was good. It's interesting. I'm driving, so that's why I'm getting ahead of Sarah there. So, but we'll go downstairs to the basement. This is where a lot of the heavier equipment is, and the more sort of some of the riskier equipment and heavier makerspace tools are. So as we come down the stairs, you'll see the wayfinding signage on the floor here. This is mapped out nicely to show first-time users in particular where to go, where they might find the tools that they need to use to complete their project. So if we look at that on the floor there, all the areas here colour-coded and sort of a bit like the tube, I suppose, in sort of sending users in the right direction. Now, what you'll see down here is that most of our machines are either accessed through a swipe card or a card hold mechanism, security mechanism. So users have to have completed the specific training courses for each of the tools before they get the opportunity to use the tools in anger, particularly the cutting tools. What the users get to do is to during their face-to-face training sessions, they learn to demonstrate that they're safely able to use the tools, and our team then provides supervision of them when they're actually in the space doing the projects and using everything. So and ultimately, in order to retain their access, they'll have to use the tools more than just once. So it's a use or lose policy that we have in here. So if we move through, if we just slowly move through the basement, we'll show a few particular tools that we have. So in here we have the CNC mill and lathe. These AMCOs, the control stations in here, where students can come in and do their CNC work in particular. We can't see the swipe card. The swipe cards are at the back. The swipe points there. Keep an eye out for those as we move through. Now we'll go down the back here towards the laser cutters. This is a big laser cutting area. Test controllers here sitting in the front, or the controllers here, sorry, sitting in the front, and laser cutters in behind. There's a Speedy 100 here and two Speedy 400s. These ones are more powerful and very fast. Actually, they can get through projects quite quickly. And out the back here, as we look around to the left here, there's an electronics area, much larger than up the stairs, where students can do all the things that they can do up the stairs, as well as use a stencil printer. There's even a pick and place machine over the back here, which we'll walk past and have a look. And down here, there's also that second touchdown space design area where students can come in and plug in their laptops, just like we have here, and use the big screens to craft out their designs and do some of their work there. We'll go around the back here. So we'll come around the back. So this is all the electronics area, some good soldering stations and the like. Come around, shoot around and walk. And there's a drill press in here in the corner here for the PCB work. We'll just go around here. This is all storage. It's just temporarily set up, and that'll be set up into a more in a more orderly way when we get finished. It actually already is, I think. This is moving forward like near map. So this is the pick and place machine here. So we hope to run some workshops at some stage where students can come in and run out their own PCBs. We think it'll be quite powerful for making your own Arduinos and showing students how that can be done. Although it is, once again, is prototyping. It's not here we're not here to run out 100 off or 200 off or 1,000 off of PCBs, for example. It's just to sort of demonstrate the approach to it. So we'll move back through. Here's another general maker area in the basement, all set up and ready to go for some induction training and tools training. A-frames over here, all set up with the tools, ready to go. This is all some of the hand tools are available, and some of them are all out on the benches, as you can see, with the nice vices and saws and the like. We'll just shoot past here, head back through. Here's some more lockers here on the right that students can use for their work in progress in particular. So there's plenty of storage here. The intent here was to replicate the design and build labs that exist in Parkville as much as possible, so students have storage available for their work in progress. Now, as we walk out the back here and follow this wayfinding signage, we come to the manual machining area. We have in here the manual mill, manual lathe. Just get in here and we can sort of spend some time moving quickly. So we have here the manual lathe, the Colchester student one, and then the vacuum former over on the left here in the corner, and the manual mill is just here as well. So these are the two heaviest pieces of equipment in the Creator Space, Telstra Creator Space. We expect to see industrial engineers coming in here and looking to use these, as well as mechanical engineers, and get the opportunity to use these tools. They're quite hazardous, and these have strict sort of training and supervision controls around them. And if we look in closely, we can see there's the card hole reader over here, sitting right there, where the student will put their card in to that, and that'll power up the tool, the lathe in this instance over here, and they'll be able to use it for their project once again under supervision. We've got a team of industry trades and technicians in the space. These who have had experience across multiple industries, aerospace, oil and gas, and automotive in particular, and they are ready to assist students with their projects and get them trained up and safe to use. Most importantly, on these heavy gear. So now we'll keep moving through, following the wayfinding signage to the back here of the basement. And we come to our shops. We come to our wood shop in particular to start with. The nice glass windows here, so you can see in and see what's happening at any given time and who's in the space working away. Now, this is our wood shop. The photos here, the images here sort of show a work in progress, but nevertheless, we can go right in and have a look at what we have into the corner even. And have a look here. So this is a wood lathe. This is a wood lathe. Woodworkers love this machine. It takes a bit of effort to get good at, but nevertheless, they love that one. And the bandsaw here, the saw stop over here, the saw stop bench table saw, and then over the back here we've got a bobbin sander and a belt sander here, along with a CNC router. So the wood shop's pretty comprehensive set of tools for working with wood and framing and sanding and finishing off projects as well. And there's also that bench drill there, or the drill press rather. Also, so that's the wood shop there. Similarly to the mill and the lathe, the access is via the card readers. That sit in here and there. They and the competency of that room is tracked at all times. So we know exactly what users are actually doing. In here we have our metal shop. Here we have a number of tools in here for working with the metal. The guillotine's over the back. That's the big one. There's a sheet metal folder just in the centre there. Storage for all the material. Another drill press, a finisher and a grinder, and all the hand tools sort of laid out here nicely on the bench. So there's quite a bit of work expected to be done in here. There's a nice bandsaw there as well. We expect to see Aries rover, Team Aries, the rocketry team, and then hopefully even MUR at times to come in and use this, as well as all the students for their subjects that they need to use the metalworking tools for. And lastly, but not least, we'll finish in the underwhelming paint room, which is empty at the moment, but very soon this will be populated with spray cans and everything else that's needed to finish off their projects, do the work to finish off all their projects and the like. So. And it would normally take you through that in an in-person walkthrough. So I think that's probably all the tools and all the capability that we have in the space. And just a couple of notes to make, I suppose, is that since we opened in July this year, we've hosted a few events. We've hosted the Girl Power Camp, which was fantastic, and and a 40-person What Hack event that was student-led activity from the Melbourne University Electrical Engineering Club, where they upcycled using e-waste to come up with their own devices. That was a very well-supported event, and obviously we've had some lockdowns along the way that have interrupted some of this. We also have about 10 subjects who were normally going to be using the space to complete their projects. And we have lots of exciting plans around masterclasses and getting the clubs and societies involved even more so going forward. So, and with obviously the goal here is to have lots of innovation and lots of collaborative thinking going on in the space at all times. So that's probably enough for me. Just looking to see if there's any questions in the board. There's no questions here at the moment. If you have any questions, by all means, put them into the Q&A session, and Sarah and I can do our best to answer them. Thomas Hanley, thank you very much for the question. I'll just read it out aloud. Thanks for all the information. I have a project in mind which involves some quite harsh solvents and requires some 3D printing. Would it be possible to have a discussion around 3D printing materials available and their compatibility with solvents? Yes, it would be. Absolutely, Thomas. We can have a chat about that. We'll be able to reach out to we've got a website and an email address that you can reach out to directly, and we'll get back to you on that. I'll tell you, I think it might be even on the front page here. There it is, up on the board. That's their website in there, and then there's an email address that you can send to as well. Excellent. Will the recording be available? I'd say Tim can probably answer that one. I think it is. Excellent. Well, we'll just give one more minute to see if there's any other questions. Sarah, is there anything else that you'd like to add to what we just spoke about?
No, I think you've done a great job in covering it all off. Check out the website. It'll be available to you to have a look at your own leisure. And I think we've just got one more question about cost of materials. Do you have a supplier for materials, or do we supply our own?
Actually, that's a good question, Thomas. So I failed to mention that there's a limited supply of materials out there that we'll have from free on floor. So that's the very basics materials. If you need to purchase your own, the Faculty of Engineering can supply that. But or whatever way you need to do. But we try to keep control of what comes into the space through approved suppliers, I suppose, through eMarket. But otherwise, the basics are available for you to use. But if you need something special, you'll just have to source it yourself through that eMarket platform or similar. So from the 3D printers point of view, thank you, Lynette, this is great. This is a good question as well. We have PLA, and also the Mark Forge do some carbon fibre as well, and that's with the nylon through it. So that's probably about it we have. We don't have any resin printers or anything like that just at the moment, just at this stage. Will alumni have access after their graduations? So while if your account as a university student gets superseded or gets archived because you've graduated, you won't have access. So you've got to keep yourself active as long as possible. Oh, the PhD, that's right. You never leave. You'll never leave. Cool.
Fabulous. Well, let's wrap up. I hope that lockdown ends and you guys can come into the space and get, for those active students and staff and academics, you can come in and get making. In the meantime, for those that can, get on to Train Me and do all your training, so you can come and enjoy the space and book in for your face-to-face sessions when we hopefully open up again.